We're having a lot of fun here on this Wednesday already. Thank you so much for watching Virginia this morning on CBS 6. We always have a lot of fun when our next guest joins us.
All right, today he's going to share his insights on how to make a killer first impression. We welcome former United States Marine and mental toughness expert, Eric Rittmeyer, back to our live show. Mental toughness because he lives in a house full of women. I'll tell you that right now. And your life is run by the women in your house, isn't it? Admit it.
No, I'll keep this simple for your viewers. Yes, you're right. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. It's all covered. I'm good to go.
That's a great first impression. I love that. Oh, wait, no, we've got more to dive into. That's so funny, Eric, and you really do. You handle so many challenging situations with such finesse. We have so much to learn from you. You know, I haven't thought about the whole first impression thing in quite some time. I want to say, like, it's almost an afterthought or a little rusty because we haven't been out there in the world meeting people for the last year and a half. So you've got some tips to share.
And the first one has to do with gossip. What is it? What you do?
I heard Eric knows a thing or two.
Yeah.
I can tell you something about hot dogs, Jess. I know ketchup is better than mustard. I got you. So you hear master the art of gossip, right? And this always catches everybody because gossip is normally not a good thing. And here's the thing about gossip. When we talk about somebody, the person listening to us unconsciously characterized, we take those characteristics and they associate them with us. So if I'm saying bad things to you about somebody else, you associate me with negative feelings. Well, the opposite side of the coin is if I can talk positively about people, gossip to them positively, I'm able to now say nice things about people behind their back. You view me in a more positive light.
First of all, positive gossip.
That's what was my question. Positive and gossip don't seem to go together, Eric, but nice phrasing there.
I got to play on words, right?
He tries to put a positive spin on everything.
Even the gossip. We've
Even
got
the gossip.
It makes sense, okay, because this is that hot dog's coming back to haunt me. This is something that, you know, we end up oftentimes engaging with other people. So if you can flip that script and make it positive. There's tip number 2 is develop your affective presence. What is this?
Affective presence, I refer to this as our emotional signature. It's the way we make people feel. So there can be both positive and negative affective presence. Positive affective presence is when we meet somebody, if we're high in this, we're able to make that person feel good about themselves. So we've all met these people. You go out somewhere, you're at a restaurant, you're working with somebody, you get done talking with them, and you're like, you know what? I feel good about myself. Something feels good about it. It's like that it factor. But there's also negative affective presence, which is when you leave the person and you're like, I hope I never see him again, right? So it's good and bad there.
I spent a minute with them, and I knew
that
them
was good.
instantly, and that's enough.
Yeah.
All right, so connections, not impressions. And I think I've told you this before. I had a friend that said, always ask the person that you meet about themselves. And they'll talk about themselves, and you'll learn something. Is that what you're talking about?
It is. And this is kind of sprint versus marathon, Bill. And I use an acronym here. I use FROM. It's family, recreation, occupation, motivation. When you're talking with somebody, try to find commonalities amongst one of those things. Ask more questions, be a better listener. The impression's important, but we want to look at long-term, which is forming that deep connection, which is normally done from an emotional standpoint.
Eric, one thing over the last year that I think has shifted quite a bit, removing the walls is one of the points that you have to explore. And we've all been, we've been working from home, we've been Zooming from home, we've been sharing what was our personal space with people, and you have a different perspective. We've kind of maybe gotten used to removing the walls a little bit.
Well, here's the thing, Jess, is a lot of times when we meet somebody, both people are kind of at this point where they're like, I'm afraid to really be who I truly am, right? They might not like me. They might think something bad, whatever. Removing the walls requires us to be a little bit vulnerable. And I'm not talking about meeting somebody for the first time being like, my feet really stink. I'm not talking about that, okay? What I'm talking about is just being vulnerable with people. Remove the wall. Be authentic, be real, be who you are. Ultimately, both parties go into this thing trying to hide a little bit normally. Just be real, just be goofy, be silly. Everybody likes that.
We've always, I run into this all the time. People meet me on the street and say, what's Jessica really like?
Her feet stink.
That's it.
Her feet stink.
But anyway, I say what you see is what everybody gets. It's just that's her. That's her. And so it's like if you can present that without you know, contorting yourself, then you're way ahead of the game.
Removing
It's being real,
walls.
but when it comes to ketchup on hot dogs, that's a different story. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later.
Don't fake it. Just pretend. Don't pretend. All right, the last one. And Bill, you just sort of nudged us into this area. I thank you for that lovely compliment of being genuine. This is about learning to give and receive compliments. And Bill, super talented and wonderful at the art of conversation.
Yeah.
I concur. Here's the thing about compliments, right? We have a very
I have a problem
Where's
with
this-
compliments. I really do. I've got
It's like it came and it went boom, just bounced off. I don't know what happened
I
there.
have a problem with that.
this show is going off the rails. So the giving and receiving compliments. When we give compliments, a lot of times we have a hard time doing it. We're afraid how people are going to receive them. They might look at us like, well, that's weird. Why'd you just tell me I have nice eyes, right? But the receiving compliments, we have to get better at that too. Here's the problem with receiving compliments. A lot of times when somebody says something about us, a compliment, something nice, we might not see ourselves that way internally. So it creates this type of cognitive dissonance where what you're saying to me, I don't truly see. It creates this uncomfortable situation. I don't know how to reply to you because I don't see myself in that light.
All right. I like you, Eric, even though you put ketchup on hot dogs. Where's that ketchup bottle you had?
That ketchup's about a year old, Bill. I pulled it out. I was running over to the fridge in between
Back
blocks.
in
I'm
the fridge.
pulling hot dogs like a year old. I'm like,
Eric, thank you so much for talking with us. I hope you'll stick around. We might catch up with you before the end of the show. Always fun getting his ideas and perspectives on things. For more information, we'll have a link on our show website by later this afternoon, WTBR.com/VTM.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.